I'm going to share all my secret, man. What? The secrets to achieve a sweet cup of coffee with V60.
You cannot do that.
I don't care, man. I'm gonna do it.
Don't.
Well, try to stop me. I want to give you some tips on how adjust variables of your brew. If your coffee tastes a bit bitter, mate, what are you doing here? I'm here to stop you. How do you want to stop me? Where is it? Where is my camera? I know I'm close to finding it. I know. But where? Yes! Found it! No, this is impossible.
Hello?
Don't tell me you found the camera.
Yes, I found it.
You're not going to give the tips now, right?
Yes, I will.
I'll come to stop you.
Come to stop me.
I will come to stop you right now. Hi everyone! Today I want to share with you my tips to adjust your brew based on my V60 method. If you haven't checked the video of my V60 pour over method, I suggest you to go to check it out and then come back to see this video. These tips could be applied also with other brewing methods, but they perfectly work with my method with pulses. When you follow a recipe or a brewing method that you find on the internet, you need to take in consideration many factors. For example, let's take in consideration the coffee. The coffee can be of many varieties and roasting profiles, and it's very difficult. Actually, I will say it's impossible to generalize it. Even if you have the same water, the same grinder, the same pour style, the same technique, the outcome, it will be different. So don't be surprised if, for example, the total brew time is different than the recipe you're following, or is also different than other coffees that you are trying. You are probably brewing a coffee with a different density and different solubility. For example, if you're brewing a coffee with a low density, the water, it will drain faster than a coffee with a high density. And if you try to adjust the variables, for example, the grind size, grinding finer to match the total brew time that is written on the recipe or has been shown by the brewing method, you might end up with an unpleasant coffee in your cup. And your final opinion could be, this recipe sucks. So it is important to change variables based on your taste and not on numbers. Numbers are good to give us control and also consistency, but they cannot tell us if the coffee tastes good. As I said in other videos, and I will continue to say, when you change brewing variables, it is important that you change one variable at a time. Because if you change two or more variables at the same time, you won't be able to understand which one affected the change you find in your coffee. Good one or bad one? Now, the question is, which variable should I change first? And that's why I'm making this video. I will take in consideration 4 aspects we can find in our brew. When the coffee is under-extracted, when it's weak, when it's too strong, and when it's over-extracted. Let's start with an under-extracted coffee. If you taste your coffee and you find too much sourness and low sweetness with a lack of body, the first variable I change is increase the water temperature. This will give more power to the water to extract solids from the coffee and automatically extract more sweetness and body. If after you increased the temperature of the water, you find the coffee still a bit under-extracted and you want more sweetness, at this point I will suggest you to check the total brew time. I know I just said that we shouldn't base our brew on numbers, but in this case we can use them as a reference. Following my brewing method, usually the coffee finishes to drip between 3 minutes 20 and 3 minutes 40. So if the total brew time is less than 3 minutes and 10 seconds and the increasing of the temperature didn't solve the under-extracted problem, at that point I will grind finer. Just a bit, not too much. Grinding finer will increase contact time and contact surface of the water with the coffee, automatically extract more sweetness and more body from the coffee. Also, keep the same brewing temperature, do not reduce it. What if your coffee tastes weak? If your coffee tastes weak, the first thing I do is to increase the water temperature, like I said with the under-extracted coffee. But just keep in mind that under-extracted and weak are not the same thing. A weak coffee can be balanced, but lack of intensity, when an under-extracted coffee can have a good strength, but it's unbalanced. Anyway, increase the water temperature, and if you see that the coffee is still weak and also a bit over-extracted, change the brewing ratio, updosing the coffee into the dripper. That will increase strength and also reduce the extraction. Something I never do is to change the amount of brewing water, neither the pouring pattern. I like to keep this as a constant, even because if we start to change pouring pattern, this video will be long more than 1 hour. So I keep the amount of water and pours as a constant and play around with the other variables. Anyway, adding more coffee into the brewer, for example 2 grams, it will make your brew stronger. But it's very important to not decrease the water temperature. When you updose, there is a possibility of under-extraction, because the water, it gets saturated faster, and if it doesn't have enough energy, the water is not able to extract the sweetness from the coffee. Do not be scared, just keep the water temperature high and you will be fine. Now, if the coffee tastes weak and also under-extracted, at this point I will change grind size. I will grind finer. That will increase contact time and contact surface, so you will get more strength and more extraction. If the brew is weak and also over-extracted, change the ratio. Updose the coffee into the brewer. That will increase the strength and also reduce the extraction. Now, what if the coffee tastes too strong? You taste it and it's too much. You cannot get any flavors and it's too overwhelming. This is a tricky one, because sometimes when the coffee is too strong, it's very hard to understand if the extraction is balanced. What I will do is bypass the cup of coffee with some water. This will reduce the strength and open up the flavors a bit more. Then you can better understand the coffee you brewed. If after the bypass the coffee tastes sour and lack of body, that means that the brew was too strong and also under-extracted. The first thing to do is to reduce the dose of coffee. That will reduce the strength of the coffee, because the ratio coffee to water is higher, but also the water will have more power to extract solids. With that combination, you can achieve a balanced cup, less strong and more sweet. If you reduce the dose and the coffee has a good strength but lack a bit of sweetness, I would increase the brewing temperature. That will give more energy to the water for the extraction. That might increase also a bit of the strength, but nobody ever complained for a strong sweet cup of coffee. Now, the last one, over extraction. You brew your pour over, you go to drink your coffee, and you find astringency and bitterness in the cup. In that case, the water has been too much in contact with the coffee, especially if your brew finishes around or over 4 minutes. The first variable I will definitely change is the grind size. I will grind coarser. Grinding coarser will reduce the contact time and the contact surface of the coffee with the water. That will give you a faster flow and reduces the chances to extract astringent compounds from your coffee. If after you grind coarser you lose a bit of sweetness and body, increase the water temperature. That will give more energy to the water to extract solutes while keeping the same contact time. Do not grind finer. And this is all for today. I know there are more things to say. In fact, if you have any questions, I would love to answer them. So please leave a comment below. If you like this video, give it a like. That will make a huge difference. And also, don't forget to subscribe if you didn't yet. That will help my channel to grow, giving me the possibility to create more contents for you. I will see you in the next video. Did you give the tips? Yes, I gave everything. Or not.